Must start over. Be all you can be. You should be the army. It's the calculation job. 944. Be all you can be. You should be the army. It's the calculation job. Be all you can be. You should be the army. It's the calculation job. 944. Higher helix. Find your place to feel. Be all you can be. Be all you can be. Be all you can be. You should be the guard. It's the calculation job. 944. Higher helix. Find your place to feel. Ain't every place I close my eyes to. Step the brain for the expedited to ship. No, taking the visit every part of the step to find your place in your heart. Your mind is too complex.
Choose which views to use, knowing your possibility affecting your energy. Two with the grace would allow you the next. Passing hour like you with the former place of who's to blame you for the being confused and the weren't confused. Abused you only choose it, what you express it only your mind for the also consider the place that you're going through and all that matters for the she's next to me for the falling of the heart for the destination, the pulling go to the next and passing through the emotions.
Be all you can be. You should be like an army. It's the calculation job. 944. Divided by 12. Higher helix. Find your place that you can feel. In every place I close my eyes to. Step the brake for the expedited your ship. No, taking the visit every one of the step and find your place in the line. Your mind is too complex.
Choose which views to use, knowing your possibility affecting your energy. Two with the grace would allow you the next. Passing hour like you with the former place of who's to blame you for the being confused and the weren't confused. Abused you only choose it, what you express it only your mind for the also consider the place that you're going through and all that matters for the she's next to me for the falling of the heart for the destination, the pulling go for the next and passing through the emotions. Peace.
You should be the army. It's the calculation job. 944. the God in you. Always you here. Is that melody all you ever know?
We must transform, we must evolve, for we must become enlightened so we can access the next realm. Conscious for the necessary for the evolution. We cannot ignore the spiritual with the cause of deficit for the ourself, for the culture, for the planet, for the easily identify ourselves, for the individual, for the spiritual, for energetic beings. We must do better for the rest, go further, for the draft, for the ground, for the brown, for the five senses, for the could be the intention, for the attention. Ladders are allowed to feel for the intuitive, for the move slowly, for the enough, for the fast, for the shift, for the speed, the future, for the cars to drive themselves, for the vision not be driven by the fear. Desire, defined by the realm of the senses and the materials. You must not anchor yourself for our souls, for the connected for the each other, for we are the better for the anyone else, for the divine self, for the connected for the literally everything and everyone, and everything in the divine beauty for the all of us, and everything is perceived in the ugly dark world. The more we see outside of the illusions, we will create the more diverse culture with the harmony for the base of the love. Our planet, religion, the politics, and the oppression for the denial for the U.S. and access to these ideas for the must go, for the temporary, for the transient ideas, and like the individualism for the only important place and paganism for the ideology, for the integrity, for the relate. The earth, we know, integrity, in fact, related to the environment. We are service of the self for the intemporal, for the illusion, for the inner element, for the earth, who needs to be the one until they believing in such an identity. I can find that for the egotistical programming. Transitional fate, the state of mind for the commonality, for the love and the sharing, forgiveness and the understanding for the togetherness and the synergy. Longest your culture will, the narratives will shift. Suppress greed, the lust, the despot, the existence, now for the opposition, for the nether, for the leader, for the corporation, for the prey upon that negative forces. Humanity for the line between the good and evil runs out for the between the cultures, for the religions, and then you can find it greedy for the every human in heart for the one on the planet. One love, one chance. I will get we must evolve. I want to say thank you for releasing. I might feel it for the closing of the eye, for taking me to a place, to taste the place deep inside of my heart, for the cherishing the love that I behold, for the this to be the place in my soul, for the blood of the living I'm back. So much is going outside of that world, for the looking inside of the deep inside of myself, for the book to shelf, for the I can look for the love, for the need, for the anywhere to hold my heart, for the reading, the pain, for the this be nothing to lose to the game. All that I love for the breaker and the security for the sure, for the me now, for the me now, for the inner me, for the inner me, for the inner you, for the inner me, for the I can find the eyes to see, for the feeling, the pain, for the relate. The team love for the innate, for the destiny, for the closing of your eyes.
Transform, we must evolve, for we must become enlightened so we can access the next realm. Conscious for the necessary for the evolution. We cannot ignore the spiritual with the cause of deficit for the ourself, for the culture, for the planet, for the easily identify ourselves, for the individual, for the spiritual, for energetic beings. We must do better for the rest, go further, for the draft, for the ground, for the realm, for the five senses, for the could be the intention, for the attention. Ladders are allowed to fit for the intuitive, for the move slowly, for the enough, for the fast, for the shift, for the speed, the future, for the cars to drive themselves, for the vision not be driven by the fear. Desire, defined by the realm of the senses and the materials. You must not anchor yourself for the our souls, for the connected for the each other, for we are the better for the anyone else, for the divine self, for the connected for the literally everything and everyone, and everything in the divine beauty for the all of us, and everything you perceive in the ugly dark world. Where we see outside of the illusions, we will create the more diverse culture with the harmony for the base of the love. Our planet, religion, the politics, and the pressure for the denial for the U.S. and access to the idea for the must go, for the temporary, for the transient ideas, and like the individualism for the only important place and paganism, for the ideology, for the integrity, for the relate. Integrity, in fact, related to the environment, we are service of the self, for the intemporal, for the illusion, for the inner element, for the earth, who needs to be the one until they believing in such an identity. I can find that for the egotistical programming. Transition is fate, the state of mind, for the commonality, for the love, for the sharing, forgiveness, and the understanding, for the togetherness and the synergy. Longest your culture will, the narratives and shift. Suppress greed, the lust, the despot, the existence, now for the opposites, for the nether, for the leader, for the corporation, for the prey upon that negative forces. Humanity for the line between the good and evil runs out, for the between the culture, for the religion, and you can find it greedy for every human in heart, for the one on the planet. Closing of the eye for taking me to a place, will taste the place deep inside of my heart for the cherishing the love that I behold, for this to be the place in my soul for the blood of the living come back. So much is going outside of that world for the looking. Inside the deep inside of myself with the books to shelf. And I can look for the love, the need for the anywhere to hold my heart for the beating, the pain for the spitting, nothing to lose in the game. Although I love it, the breaking of for the security, for the shore, for the me, back for the me, and now for the enemy, for the enemy, for the enemy, for the enemy, for the I can find the eyes to see, for the feel, for the pay, for the relay. But the love for the enemy, for the destiny, for the eyes. With turning off my Michael cord, turn it up for the turn the mic up. I went into the notes and you can find it for the turn my mic up for the high notes and low key, and inserting for the low key. Undeniably misunderstood. Getting high for those blunts, for the melody, for the piano, for the background playing scratchy gently, for the reaching of the heart, the light, find the light, for the rack, for the better explanation, for the finding, for the comfort, but again for the accepting the work, for the doesn't seem like you are the only one to reason and have the problem, for the floating promises on the bridge. Burning in your own dead mother to the exit wounds. For the long-term terminology, apologetic for the rhetoric, for does not consider for the be even considered an order enough for the store, for the insecurity store, for the protection, the insurance, for the all states of mind. I couldn't sleep for the dreams and the only gentle wonder be ways to the spreading good words around your pathetic way. The reasons I was never going under the way for the safety to walking away, for the crossing over my mind and brush hour can be the stop to die, for the irresponsible to take a leap of faith. Blind date, blindfolded for the unraveling myself before the eyes, and I would love to hear that for the heartbeat, for the only to die, for the ever again, for the birth, for the flower, the illusion, the sun is the only paradise, for the revelation and light, and light, for this love, for the breath, for the fire hiding behind the gesture, for the compliments. Complaints inside and out of the way for the music, for the piano was trying to say. It was all hard not considered for the prayer, for the breath, for the rest of the day, for the hide and conceit, for the forgiveness, for the revival, for the revitalized, for the picture, for the frame, for the it was on the self, for the realization, for the higher learning, for the burning glance. Yo meets a teacher for the learning high notes. Harmony with a low key for the misunderstanding, for the standing under bridges, for the demolition, for the accidental, for the exit wound to the long termination, for the pathetic humans and only being empathetic, for the respectful way, for the understanding and how the energies are real. The music for that you can find and be at home. Sensitive, eardrums, beat, bend, beating, metronome, heart, home, alone, share, self, my space, between, God, planet, and voluntary. There's nothing wouldn't do for this love. It's prosperity God has used me like he did Mary. For the God hasn't used me, and then that's why I got married. And I will have the woman for the goddess and the love. For the it was carried to wash away for the blood. For the carry out the like a dancing night to do for the only the prom, for the leave for that, for the soon, for the boom, for the only have the rhythm, for the orbit, for the dribbling away slowly. And that's the sound of the piano and high notes low key faded.
We always pause for a little break.
And we always pause for a little break.
And we always pause for a little break. And then we say, here's for good time's sake. Oh, for the heart to fear. I'm afraid of the hating more, ever more for the you could be the waiting outside for the war for the coming. It'll never safe for the garden. It's the safest place to be. Supplied with that hope that you should one day come. For the beat at the top of the totem pole, total idiots, and you can find that for bipolar opposites. In the cage, you can find that theme song. For the cave, for the you can remember the moon for the who she is. Sun, birth after dawn for the strongest point of the time. Remember the sundown for the giving away the night. Whom do I call that enemy? For the heart, for the asking a question, the furious mind blessing.
I want to be not a socialist for the find that for the song for the equal suffering. I am going back out of state, not to Cali. For the blessed hope to touch that, for the hope so blessed, for the enough, for the cheers to be fending in the heart, for the pointing in front and the coming and rest of the sorrow has no part for the heart, for this to be the worldly prop. Unbind by the earthly things, for the blessed be the glorious hope for the spirit. Clean myself for the wet anger to the soul, for the just upon me and let it rest for the skin. Know it was hope of the blessed, and the heart for the fragile thing, for the not confined nerve, for the bearing it up, for this to be the hope of the clinging in yourself, for the owner, the Christ, to reign, for that to bring the crown, for the life, for this to be only the obtain. That was true in the heart. So I want to make songs for the people, for the song, for the old and young, for the stir like the battle cry, for wherever you were. It was a Bible difference, the slavery, for the enslavement, for the pulpit, for the servant, for the hymn, and the I cannot lie, for the still, for the morning in the ground, and learning to the road. Rebel that for the what you can find in the rule. It was a learning to read in your defense of your slavery. And I can find that master for the mind, for the learning of the eyes, for you can find it all too wise, for this to be the little, for the book, for the taking in the worst, and you can hear that cry for the yes man, for the pages of the death, for the hate, and none of the half, for the to be the leaning on the head, for the casting a spell. Nothing to read for you, for the stay right, for the helping up, for the just never the steering their frown. And turn it the other way around for the long end of the reading of the Bible, for the precious words, for the say, for the you are the word, for the beginning of learning, for the shaking of your head, for the not understanding, for the you can find the chaos. Too late, had no time to wait, for the pair, for the glasses, straight to work, for the I went, for the devil, the work, for my soul, for the saint. Got a little cabin for the place that you can call it home, for the felt independent enough for their own upon the phone. Upon my home, wherever they say no songs. And shrouded for the pulpit, for the serving around him. Heard that for the sigh, for the wind, for the sighting, for the murmur of the rain, for the you knew it was the earth, for the longing to see you again. No excuses. My heart reigned this forever. And then we always pause for a little break. And then we say, here's for good time's sake.
You should be like an army. It's the calculation zone. And you're 44. And you find a bad hole. Higher helix. You can find no place that you can feel. In every place I close my eyes to. Step at the brink for the expedited the ship, and all for taking the visit every one of the step. We find your place in that rhyme. Your mind is too complex.
Choose which views to use, knowing your possibility affecting your energy. And two with the grace would allow you to next. Passing hour like you with the former place, and who's to blame you for the being confused and the burnt confused. The views that you only choose and what you express it on your mind for the also consider the place that you're going through, and all that matter for the she's next to me for the falling of the heart for the destination to pulling go for the next and passing through the emotions. Peaceful dreams to get your wish smell for the breaking your fast and eating slow. She has been minute away for the bed for the food that tastes of the acid down her throat. A refrigerator or the sink, the hour takes the ownership for the day for the it was the hours for the keeping the ship for the sinking in the acid. When down the throat for the it was the most important thing for the all that matter for the explanation the planets to breaking up of the countries and the X marks the spot. Now I find the times to the coordinate, cordially corresponding for the corporate America. Cans and don'ts and good do's and this I'm a musician for the sheets of dancing for the one who doesn't do anything for the getting the cancer to always complicated for the everything justifiable for the answer to do so much for the me. I can find what's understanding for the you can hide no plans, not time for the matter for the what you're drifting in emotions that floating in the ocean that begins. It depends on the science. Gravity, paper sinking and swimming to becoming hard to see for the understanding fading in the moment for the you can find the stars and have to give resolution for the finding the meaning for the light to be able to see for the time for the gift us a home with the way. It's hard to find the opinion to stale. I failed to mail that one the memory into yourself like it was copyright overnight for the passing of thoughts. Zip codes arriving drain. Over explained for the pain for the sheet was none for the it was the ear for the pull out the thumb but over the under the understanding over the you can find the parts of the food for the thought for the fingers the appetizer the getting drunk over the love for the putting in tank for this to be the breath of life for getting the children all like the parents Alzheimer's. Motherless child could be all without the memory for the father for the you can run back for the cloudy wastelands. See it all to the inside, turning and the closing your mind for the closing your wash inside out like a washing of a tears in the pictures, being raised for the